Hello, today we are going to install the KDE build framework named kdesrc-build in a portable manner. So we want to create a portable installation of kdesrc-build. Portable in the sense of this thing, portable thumb drive edition. So many Windows software is available both as an installer, which is a MSI or an NSI or NSIS installer with extension exe or extension MSI, but then it's also available sometimes as a zip archive, a 7 zip archive, or a self-extracting archive. And these archives are the portable edition, which means that you can just put the extracted archive anywhere on your hard disk. Could be c:\temp, could be on a USB stick, and then all of the files are contained into that directory. You can move the stick from one USB stick from a computer to another. You can rename the directory. All of the relevant files are in there. And that's what we want to do with kdesrc-build. Usually kdesrc-build lives in the directory ~/kd, but we want to, for instance, rename the directory to ~/kd6 or to ~/kd minus today's date. So let's see how we do that. First of all, we go to the page where it's documented how to install kdesrc-build. So that's kd.org, get involved, development, and then set up a development environment with kdesrc-build. First of all, it says that one of the better supported operating systems by kdesrc-build is Linux, either on real hardware or on a virtual machine. And I'm using KDE Neon Unstable Edition in this example. You could use other operating systems. Okay. So let's have side by side. On the right half of the screen, I'll have documentation. On the left half of the screen, I'll have a console, which is the KDE terminal. Let's increase the size of the fonts. So first of all, it says that I'm on the Debian family of Linux operating systems. I would need to run this command line. Okay, so it's going to install Git. Next up, I do not need to configure Git because I do not want to write to Git, I want to read from Git. Then I set up kdesrc-build. kdesrc-build does two things, manages dependencies. So if you tell kdesrc-build to build a KDE Git repository kcalc, it knows that before building kcalc, it will need to build a KDE Git repository kconfig first. Okay. So I have git cloned this KDE Git repository named kdesrc-build. This command line does nothing. It should create deb src lines in /etc/app/sources/.list, but it does not. So all of the lines that start with deb space should have a copy, but with the prefix deb minus src. Okay. like this. So there should be pairs. This should have both prefix deb space and deb minus src space. The next pair should have both prefix deb space and deb minus src space. And the third pair has both prefix deb space and deb minus src space. So I needed to actually edit the file by hand. Let's see if we can save it, because the file is owned by the user root. And we cannot, not a problem. I'm installing a command line text editor, a text user interface text editor, which is called emacs-nox. I'm the super user, the user root. Okay, and I'll replace the existing contents with this thing, if I know how to do that. Leave a trailing new line, save Ctrl-XS, exit Ctrl-XC. Okay, and then we should run this command line. So the sed did not work on KDE Neon because the original file /etc/app/sources.list did not look like it looks on Ubuntu by default. Okay, so we can see these new repositories which have been added with type sources. Okay, let's stop being the user root, Ctrl-D. And next, I should run this command line. Notice that the command line has a / before. That's because we're in the directory where we git clone the KDE git repository kdesrc-build. And in here we have these files which are executables, which have a star at the start of the file name. This is a Perl file. This is a Perl file, so they're interpreted. How do I exit? Okay, so their files, this file kdesrc-build is executable, is of type source code Perl, will be interpreted by the Perl interpreter because that's the first line in the shebang. And because it's executable, it says in here, has the X executable bit set for my user group, and everybody else. It will run. It's not in the environment variable path. That's why so the directory ~kd/src/kdesrc-build is not in any of the directories in the environment variable path. So that's why you need to prepend a /. That's the Linux convention. Okay, so this command line installs many deb packages for KDE Neon, because those are going to be needed in order to build the KDE Git repositories. The second thing that it does, it creates a configuration file, which is in the ~/.config hidden directory in my home directory, which is named ~/.config/kdesrc-build rc. So this is the RC, the configuration file for kdesrc-build. it's outside of the tilde/kd directory, so this defeats the purpose of having the directory tilde/kd be portable and self-contained. And it also tries to create other files. So this is a configuration file for the interpreter bash or the command line shell. I do not want to create such a thing. Again, I want all of the files to be contained inside of the tilde/kd directory. So this .bashrc file is straight into my home directory. So please do not edit it. I press enter because that's the default option here for no n. Okay. So now we have files in two places in tilde/kd. Let's look at how it looks like. So this directory, in here will be three subdirectories, src, build, and usr. And then that's this hidden file. So let's move this hidden file to the current directory, mv to move, and dot the current directory. Okay, now this file should not exist anymore. There's no such thing. And next up, we'll need to edit this configuration file. So let's use kate. It's in the current directory, kdesrc-build, and then rc. Okay. Let's see if this file already works correctly. So it's using the defaults that were created by this command line, kdesrc-build initial setup. These are correct. Let's increase the number of cores. Let's make this, I don't know, 12. And this is already okay. The kdesrc-build installation is functional. We can start building software. But before building software, I want to make the installation of kdesrc-build even more portable. So we went 80% of the way by moving the file, the configuration file, to the current directory, the directory where we git clone the git repository kdesrc-build. 10% of the remaining way is to not have this hard-coded path to tilde/kd. And fortunately, we can just remove this, the entire full path to the directory where the configuration files reside. So let's remove everything. So we can just say include from the current directory this file, kf6 common options build include. Okay. So in the current directory, all of these files exist. kf6 common options build include this guy, qt6 build include, which is this guy, custom qt6 libs, which is this guy, kf6 qt6, this guy, and also these two lines are commented out. So now we're 90% of the way of making kdesrc-build portable, such that it's all contained inside of the tilde/kd directory, and then you can move the tilde/kd directory around. The last remaining 10% is the fact that the directory tilde/kd is hard-coded in three places. On line 15, kd-dir, line 18, source-dir, and line 22, build-dir. So we should fix this thing such that we can support the dot directory, which means the current directory, and then go up one directory, up one directory. like this. Such support does not yet exist in kdesrc-build. We need to create it. So unfortunately, whenever you move this directory to another place, you will need to intervene on lines 15, 18, and 22 and replace ~kd with the new name of the directory. Okay, let's do an example. So before building anything, I can move the directory around. So let's do that. Or I can create a copy of the directory. So let's copy the entire directory, ~kd, to a new directory. And let's name this thing kd5. So I can have in ~kd kdesrc-build for Qt6, and in ~kd5 kdesrc-build for Qt5. Let's go there and edit the 3 lines in the configuration file. So cd ~kd5 src kdsrc and then kdesrc-build and then rc. Okay. Since this directory is incorrect, we'll need to replace it. So we go Ctrl-R, Ctrl-C, Tab, Ctrl-V, and we'll need to edit it by putting a 5 in here. Then replace all. It replaces in the 3 lines where it should, 15, 18, 22, and also in commented out lines in the documentation, so 24 and line 51. So the fact that it also replaces on lines 51 and 24 is benign, and it's not a problem that it did such a thing. Okay. Now that we have 2 directories with 2 installations of kdesrc-build, let's actually follow the procedure where we have 2 different installations of kdesrc-build on the same machine, one for Qt6 and the other for Qt5. Okay, so for that, the wiki page is https://community/kd/community.kd.org/get-involved/development and then more. In here we have chapters both for how to create a portable installation of kdesrc-build, where we have this most important line. And then what we need to remember is that we did not edit the file ~/.bashrc, and the directory kdesrc-build is not in the path environment variable. So whenever you want to build something, you would need to prepend to the executable kdesrc-build // in order to actually execute it. So whenever you want to run kdesrc-build or kdesrc-run, first of all you change into the directory where those 2 files reside, and then you prepend any command lines starting with kdesrc-build or kdesrc-run with a // This is because kdesrc-build prefers the file kdesrc-build.rc if it exists from the current directory. So the current directory is this one, where you just changed the directory where you git clone kdesrc-build. Okay, and then the next chapter is how to have 2 installations of kdesrc-build on the same computer. We'll have one for Qt6 and the other one for Qt5. In ~kd we have the one for Qt6. In ~kd5 we have the one for Qt5. This is what we already did. We copied the entire ~kd directory to ~kd5. And then we'll need to change the installation in tilde/kd5 to not use Qt6 but to use Qt5. So let's do that. We're going to do that by editing the configuration file. So just in the tilde/kd5/src/kdesrc-build and the file kdesrc-build.rc, we're going to go from Qt6 to Qt5. How do we do that? So edit the configuration file using the chapter kdesrc-build Qt5. Okay. So by default, the branch group, which means what Git branches to use, should kdesrc-build use from the kd git repositories, is kf6 qt6. We will need to change this thing to kf5 qt5. So I do that by replacing all of the 6's with a 5. So let's do that. Control R, 6, tab 5, and let's start replacing. Replace, replace, replace. So we replaced everywhere all of the 6 with 5. Okay, so I did all of these things. Now back to having 2 installations on the same machine. So now that I have different installations, I should use different console tabs. Let's do that. So Control-Shift-T. The left tab should be kf6qt6, so kdesrc-build qt6. So that's tilde/kd/src/kdesrc-build. There's no 5 in the path, so that means the first tab is for Qt6. Whereas in the path there's a 5, this means that the second tab in console should be for kdesrc-build Qt5. Okay, so let's do for Qt6. Let's build not kcalc but kconfig to make sure that everything works. So we would want to run kdesrc-build, but we need to prepend /. So kdesrc-build, and then the module that I always start with is kconfig. This is a KDE framework, and it depends only on ECM extra CMake modules. If kconfig builds correctly, then it means that the kdesrc-build installation is correct, was installed correctly, and also some of the binary packages from my Linux operating system were installed correctly by kdesrc-build --initials -setup. Okay, so this is kdesrc-build Qt6, and we can do the same thing with kdesrc-build Qt5. So /kdesrc-build and then kconfig. I'm not sure if I can build at the same time. Hopefully I can, but I'm not sure. This is not the purpose of what we're doing here. So the purpose is not that we can build at the same time from different directories using kdesrc-build. The purpose is that I can both move the tilde/kd directory anywhere I want. Maybe I want to put it in, I don't know, /opt or into some other place. The fact that I can make copies of the tilde/kd directory as needed Maybe I want a snapshot. Maybe I want to use different Git branches. And then the fact that I can have both Qt6 and Qt5 kdesrc-build available on the same machine, such that, for instance, I can fix issues in the Git master branch with Qt6 on some KD Git repositories, and then I can backport the Git commit to Qt5 branches of the same KD Git repository. And before actually doing the Git commit, I can test locally by building, using kdesrc-build, the KD Git repository using Qt5. I rarely need to backport fixes that I do for a KD Git repository for Qt6 first. I rarely need to backport it to Qt5, but when I do, that's how I do it. I have two kdesrc-build installations on the same machine. One for Qt6, another for Qt5. Okay, so kconfig build correctly for KD Framework 6. Build correctly for KD Frameworks 5. Okay, let's actually look at the directories. So in tilde/kd is the Qt5 installation. This is a file system similar to /usr, so it has a bin directory with the executables, a lib directory with .so files, shared libraries, a shared directories with other things, such as themes and fonts, etc., configuration data, include with .h files. So C and C++ include files. Okay, and then src, where kdesrc-build git clones directories, KD Git repositories, and then the build directory for intermediate files, build artifacts. This is where CMake does its thing. This is where Ninja does its thing. This is where the C++ compiler G++ does its thing. Or the Qt MOC, UIC, RCC code generators do their thing. Okay, and the same thing, I have it in tilde/kd5, but for Qt5. So a USR directory, and a src directory, where kdesrc-build has git clone the KD Git repositories, and a build directory with intermediate files. Okay. Next up, after I do this sanity check to build kconfig to make sure that kdesrc-build has been installed correctly, is to actually run an executable from built by kdesrc-build, and the simplest one that I know of is kcalc. So this thing. Okay, this depends on 21 other Git repositories, which will need to be cloned and built. And then we're going to run kcalc. And then the same thing in kdesrc-build for Qt5, build kcalc, and then run it. Let's see if they can build in parallel. And we'll be back once they both build. Both kdesrc-build Qt6 and Qt5 have finished building kcalc. The desktop calculator, let's now run it. So this is, we can see it in the directory name. There's no 5 in here, so this is kdesrc-build Qt6. and the same thing for, there's a 5 in here, so for kdesrc-build Qt5. Okay. This is kcalc Qt5 and this is kcalc Qt6. What we wanted to achieve is done, so we have two installations of kdesrc-build, one for Qt5, another for Qt6, the one for Qt6 in tilde/kd, the one for Qt5 in tilde/kd5. And all of these respects the chapters in the more wiki page, portable installation of kdesrc-build, and the chapter 2 independent kdesrc-build installations on the same machine, and also the chapter kdesrc-build Qt5, which tells you how to install kdesrc-build using the default configurations, using kdesrc-build -- initial setup. That sets up kdesrc-build Qt6, and then using this chapter you need to switch that installation from kdesrc-build Qt6 to kdesrc-build Qt5. Again, the only thing that we did was just to replace the digit 6 with 5. So this is it. Thank you.